My name is Paul Moore. I'm 25 years old. My company is Rebel Chilli. So at Rebel Chilli we produce and sell a range of fresh chilli sauces for the Irish retail and food service market, as well as exporting to Abu Dhabi, Dubai and the UK. I suppose how we started was with my brother. We started making the sauce in my mother's kitchen, started selling at the local farmers markets. So from there we started getting into local stores like O'Mahony's, Butchers and English Market. Then I went to Super Value, it's now stocked in Dunn's. So I suppose just a gradual process, a lot of hard work and a bit of luck as well along the way. I would advise them to absolutely test the product first before launching, because I think people can get very attached to a product. But just start with family, start with friends, get people tasting it and make sure it's a bit different than anything that's on the market already, because there are so many of the same products. And also start selling straight away, even at your farmers markets, because then you'll get feedback, then you'll get cash, and then you know what's good and bad about the product. I would have put a structure in place from the very start, because when I started work full time, I didn't know what I was doing, I suppose, so I was just learning as I was going. So it was quite unstructured, but I definitely would put a structure in terms of hours, wage, duties and what you're doing, because otherwise you can be quite all over the place. It's a horrendous cliche, but to not be afraid to fail. You are 100% going to make a lot of wrong decisions, but the more wrong decisions you make, the chances are the more right ones you will make in the future and the more you learn. And also ask for help. People are very willing to help and willing to talk. Don't do it. You won't make a success of it. You won't sell. So we have a kitchen up in Farran Ferris. So we make everything by hand. We only use all natural and fresh ingredients. There are no additives or preservatives, and all the products are gluten-free. So in terms of marketing, we very heavily use social media, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I suppose we built that off our customer base, which we established at farmers markets and festivals. So that's where we got initial sales, and then once we launched into stores, we could tell customers in those areas via social media where to get the products. As we've grown, then the branding has, I suppose, it's been again very much on social media, kind of working with other brands to grow our brand. And I suppose we're going to look at advertising now in the future, very much online, maybe sponsorship of events as well. And we approached an Irish exporter who carries a lot of the major Irish brands after getting set up, actually easier than the Irish retail market, which is funny. There are a lot of regulations in the food industry, rightfully so, because any food product needs to be perfectly above board because it's being served to the public. But if you work with the local enterprise offices and the EHO, which are the environmental health officers, they are there to help you. So there is I suppose a bit of regulation, but it's nothing that can't be overcome with a bit of advice and support. The advantages are having complete control and being able to make your own decisions, which is very, I suppose, rewarding, that when you do something good, it's all down to you. On the flip side, if you mess up, again, it's down to you, but I suppose you need to take it as a learning experience. The disadvantages are that if you don't do the work, it won't get done. So it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of stress, but that is the choice you make, I suppose. Initially, I suppose, in some meetings when you'd walk in, I can kind of get the feeling that they would maybe thinking, oh, this guy is young. But then once they taste the products and once I talk to them and tell them about the brand, I think more often than not they would be convinced and can see it's a good product and a good brand. I found having a degree in BAS was helpful initially in terms of the business side of things, and maybe in the technical side for building the website. But I suppose the experience I've gained now from working in the food industry probably far surpasses what I learned in my degree, but it was helpful in terms of setting up. To become one of the largest condiment brands in the world, so akin to Heinz or Hellman, starting in Ireland, getting well known. Essentially I want to have It's the same way you have a bottle of ketchup or a bottle of mayonnaise on the table, then you have a bottle of Rebel Chilli on every table as well in every household. Start in Ireland, move to the UK, and then move from the UK to the US. They're the two massive markets for me, so fingers crossed.